have talked about in the past people not living their dreams because of, well, excuses, and there's always a reason why they can't live their dreams. No money, wife won't let me, just, I don't know, just tons of excuses. It seems to me that for the majority of my life, I can't remember a time that I haven't. If I wanted to do something, I mean, seriously wanted to do something, I found a way to make it happen. I've told you the story when I was going to go into the Navy. I went to boot camp. I had a girlfriend, high school sweetheart. Went into boot camp. Then I went to Groton, Connecticut submarine school. Came home on vacation for that. Got married to my girlfriend. We didn't have anything. Not a plan. Nothing. Now, it's probably pretty stupid what we did, but as age comes wisdom, and you realize that was pretty dumb. But we went up there with 3 suitcases apiece and made it work. We were there 4 years. It's had a nice place, you know, in a nice apartment with furniture. We didn't have anything. 3 suitcases we had a car, a new car. When we came home, furniture. We made it work. And I've always had that kind of determination through life. And so I've been able to accomplish it a lot. I remember when I first started my consulting firm, we finally got into a financial situation where I could quit my job. That took a little bit of effort, and a lot of the effort was, I should give to my ex-wife. She took on a contract and made quite a bit of money on it through, you know, I guided her through it, but she worked at it full time, made quite a bit of money at it. So we were able to focus on the business full time after that contract was finished. So put in my 2 weeks notice at this company. I was making pretty good money. I think it was $40,000. And of course, back then, young guy, 28 years old. What was that? Right around 2000, probably 2001. It was a lot of money. And I put in my 2 weeks notice and decided that I was going to run this company, this consulting firm. And so the only way to get sales was to be the salesman. Well, I've never done sales before. I've never sold a thing except, you know, in elementary school when you got to sell popcorn for some sort of event or something. So I picked up the phone. I had a whole list of companies that I could call. Found a whole list of companies that were in need of my services. And all excited and had everything rehearsed in my head how I was going to say it. And the receptionist picked up and I said, "Yes, may I speak to the president of the company, please?" And I named his name. I don't remember what it is now, but whatever his name was. I had it all on my list. And she said, "Yes, may I ask who's calling?" Well, I knew if I said I'm just a sales marketing guy that she'd hang up on me. And I didn't have a plan for that. I just froze. And that was the first day that I'd quit working. I hung up the phone, went over, sat on the couch, because, you know, we were in an apartment and we had this huge desk that took up the dining room area. Huge. 2 computers, all the files and everything we needed. And I went over into the living room and sat on the couch, and I thought, I got to figure out how to get through this, because we're not going to make it if I can't get past the receptionist. And finally, it occurred to me that if I said, "Yes, I understand that your company is in search of some information for ISO 9000, and my company is quality processes, and I wanted to help you answer those questions," or something to that effect. I don't remember exactly what I said, but it made it sound like the president had kind of contacted me. It wasn't a lie. I didn't say he did. I understand because my list was a list of companies that were in search of this ISO thing. So I just, once I figured that out, just smooth sailing, and we were in business for 10 years, and I don't think we had to give it up. You know, we went through the 2008 crash, and since my business focused heavily on the automotive industry, the 2008 crash really killed the automotive industry, and a lot of my companies that I was working with closed up. So that was a pretty tough pill to swallow, and the only reason I quit was I didn't want to have to rebuild it. I had a good clientele. It took me 10 years to build up, and I just wasn't in the mood to rebuild it. So I was able to use my contacts, and I started working for a company that I consulted for, actually. And then I moved to another company that I consulted for. So I fought through it, got through it, didn't quit. And the only reason I quit was because I just got tired of doing it. Quite honestly, that was the reason. Just got tired. There was a lot of traveling in that company, in that business. Raised my daughter on that pretty much. For most of her life was on that business, and I'm pretty proud of it. Then, you know, I set my mind to getting debt-free, and within a couple of years we were debt-free, and set my mind on traveling, and we traveled for a few years in a pop-up camper. Oh, you can't live in a pop-up camper. You can't do that. That's impossible. You can't do that. And I've documented it all. You go to the beginning of the channel, go to the beginning, you'll see that I was traveling around in a pop-up camper. The videos were horrible, don't get me wrong. Made a YouTube channel, and although it's not where I want it to be, the channel has done pretty good over the years. I would like to have done better, but I just never gave up. I'm still making videos. So just gotta dive in and do it. There was a quality manager that I worked for one time, and he asked me to do a project or something. I can't remember what it was, but what he said to me stuck. So a few weeks later, he said, "How's that project going?" And I'm listing off all the things that we got to do, and things that, you know, I've got in place, and the people I'm trying to contact and hire, and you know, just making all kinds of excuses why it wasn't done yet. And he says, "You're going to sit around forever trying to get all the details right. Just get in it. Just start. And when you find that you're missing something, then deal with it." Years later, I heard the phrase analysis paralysis. You sit there and analyze it to death until you just froze. You can't do it. So sometimes it's better stop analyzing and researching and just get in there and do it. Tiny house is another example. I've never built a house before. Never built anything beyond a porch and a dog kennel. Built a truck camper, but that was with Dad's help. But I built this all by myself. Not 1 ounce of help, except Carolyn helped me lift up the north wall and put the shower together, the plastic shower. Other than that, I did the whole thing myself. And as I ran into a problem, I would just call Dad and say, "Hey, how do you do this?" But I could have gotten into analysis paralysis, because the one thing I was struggling with is trying to figure out the metal roofing. There was just no way I understood that. I didn't understand any of it. How to order it, where to get it from, who sells it, how to cut it. I didn't know anything. So before I started building, I almost got myself into analysis paralysis, trying to figure out this part. But it was just better. It really was just better to start and run into that problem when you run into it. You know, I was almost hoping Dad would just buy the stuff for me. Not pay for it, but, you know, go and order it and figure it all out and how much I would need. But he refused. Not that he refused. I don't think he realized I was asking. It was kind of more of hinting. I don't think he realized. He's going to watch this video. He's going to call me up. "I would have helped you." I know he would have. But I did it. I'm kind of glad he didn't help me. But, I mean, he gave a lot of advice, sent me a lot of YouTube videos on things that I just didn't know. What do you call that? Even though I used to know the name, whatever that was, the thing that overhangs there, I don't know what that is anymore. Fascia, who knows? But got enough videos. You know, I made a little flaw here, and I've thought about fixing it a million times. I decided I'm not going to fix it. That sags down for some reason. That's just one of the flaws. There's a flaw over here. I miscut the metal, and I didn't want to buy the metal, so I was going to put some trim over it. right there, miscut that. So I had to patch it up, but I don't need to fix it. Gives it character. I know the troll's gonna say, you should fix that. I would have replaced the whole panel. That's terrible. You'll never sell that. No, I'm never gonna sell it. I'm gonna die in it. Probably rot in here. Probably nobody will find me. I'll just rot in there. Yeah, it'll be full of flies. Somebody walking up the road might smell me one day. And then of course the lawnmower repair business. And I don't even understand how that is a big problem. Well, I do know what it is. Just got a comment the other day. Everybody seems to think I gotta have a shop. Gotta have a shop. The new channel that I've created, new Shade Tree Mower Mechanic is what the name of the channel is. Somebody said you gotta have a shop, and well, first of all, it wouldn't be Shade Tree Mower Mechanic if it had a shop. It would be Mower Mechanic like everybody else. You know, I'm trying to put a unique spin on it, of course, for the channel to make it grow, but maybe people will recognize anybody can work on a lawnmower. They don't have to be afraid of it. Just do it. So, but he says, I'm trying to do the same thing you are and start a lawnmower repair business. You know, I got to get a shop. Or not. I've proven that you don't need a shop. You can do it. But I didn't shy away from it. When I decided to do it, we went out and bought a few tools, and we just got started. I just got started, just started doing it. Not everything requires a lot of analysis. When you run into a problem, you just resolve the problem instead of trying to figure out all the problems beforehand. So if you'll click this up next box, it would take you to a video to my other channel. We'll be repairing something. Let's see, this is yeah, it's not a new video, but I'd appreciate it if you take a look at it. So hope I can inspire you to get rid of the analysis paralysis so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.